Hi guys, and welcome back again with IGCSE Business Studies. Today we are going to review Chapter 9, Internal and External Communication, and to prepare you very well guys before the proposed exam. So we are going to review the whole chapter, plus we are going to answer the worksheet that I have prepared for this chapter. Guys, let me remind you again that you can ask any questions about the materials during and after the lessons and anytime you want. So don't hesitate to ask. I miss you so much, guys. I hope to see you very soon. So let's start our lesson today. Okay, let's do it. Okay, guys, let's start. So, as we said before, guys, there is two types of communication, the internal communication and the external communication. Remember that very well, that we have two types of communication, the internal and external. This is the two types of communication, guys. What is the communication media means? The communication media is the method used to communicate a message. It's the method used to communicate a message. Okay guys, if I ask you what is the difference between the internal communication and the external communication, you have just to say that the internal communication is where the employees communicate with each other inside the business, while the external communication involves communicating with people and organization outside. So the internal is communicate inside the business, external communication communicate outside the business. So this is the main difference between those two types. So communication between two or more people or groups of people will only be effective if what, guys? If what? You remember? If, number one, the message is sent using the correct communication media, the message is sent and received by the right person, the receiver understands the message, the receiver provides feedback to the sender to confirm they have received and understood the message. Okay. This is the effective communication life cycle. And the effective communication, that the information passed between two or more people or groups with feedback to confirm that the message has been received and understood. And the effective communication benefits, as we said, it reduces the risk of mistakes, enable faster decision making, enabling quicker responses to market changes, improving coordination between departments, and finally improving morale and motivation of the workforce, improving customer relationships. Okay. We are going to review very fast, guys, and we are going directly to the worksheet. This is the important thing in our lesson today, the worksheet, because the exam or the assessment will be including the worksheet that I have prepared before, guys, and I already sent it to you, but I'm going to send it again for you guys. Okay. So the oral communication, as we see here, the oral communication using the spoken word like meeting and telephone calls, it allow you two-way of communication. Between the sender and the receiver, and provides the opportunity to feedback so that the sender can check that the message has been understood. So the oral communication is simply two-way of communication, sender and receiver. This is the oral communication. It's like meeting, it's like conversation, it's like phone calls. All these communications are related to the oral communication. Written communication. The written communication, written forms of communication provides permanent record of message and can be looked at more than once to check understanding. So let's move this shape to see the answers, guys. What is the type of written forms? Letter, memorandum, agenda, minutes of meeting, job description, purchase order, invoice, and company magazines. All these are types of written forms, guys. Written communication, guys. Okay? The third method of communication is electronic communication. It's like emails, fax, SMS, video conference, all types that using technology is electronic communication. And it's very effective, guys, for sure. The visual communication, the fourth type, it's using the graphs, chart, videos, and photos. So these are visual communication. Okay. Choosing the best method of communication. It's affected by a number of factors. Let's begin with the first one, guys. How urgent the message is, the length and complexity of the message, how many people need to receive the message, how far away the receiver is from the sender, how important it is for all receivers to receive the message at the same time, the cost of media, how important is to have a written record of the communication, if the message requires discussion, and how confidential the message is. How confidential the message is. Okay, so let's go directly, guys, to the worksheet that I have prepared before for the chapter internal and external communication, and start with the first definitions. Communication media. Communication media means the methods used to communicate message, feedback, the receiver's response to a message, effective communication, information based between two or more groups with feedback to confirm that the message has been received and understood, two-way communication. The receiver are allowed to respond to the message and the sender is listen to the response. These four definitions, guys, it could comes as a multiple choice. All the assessment will be a multiple choice, A, B, C, and D. And these definitions could come as a multiple choice. Okay, guys? Let's go to the second question. What are the two types of communication? As we said, guys, you remember what is the two types of business communication? There is two types, the internal communication and the external communication. This is the first one. This is the internal communication and the external. And what is the main difference between them? Is that the internal communication is where employees communicate with each other, managers, subordinates, and their own department on or with other department in the same business, while the external communication involves communicating with people outside the organization. For example, communicate with the business stakeholders. Okay. Remember that very well. I think it will come in the exam. I'm not sure. I think it will come in the exam. Okay, guys. Let's go to the next page. What are the benefits of effective communication business? This is very important, guys. Reducing the risk of mistakes, enabling faster decision making, enabling quicker responses to market changes, improving coordination between departments, and finally improving customer relationships. Okay, Let's go to the next question. Write down 5 forms of written communication used by business. It's very easy. Letter, memorandum, agenda, minutes of meeting, and invoice. This is the 4 types of written communication. What should business think about when choosing the best method of communications? This is a very important question, guys. Again, what should business think about choosing the best method of communication? Number 1, how urgent the message is, the length and complexity of the message, how many people need to receive the message, how far away the receiver is from the sender, and finally the cost of media. Question number 6. What are the problems arising from ineffective communication in business? This will lead us to number 1, tasks not completed, tasks done incorrectly, business reputation damaged, workers' moral and motivations falls, risk of accidents in the workplace, poor sales, wrong types of worker recruited. So this is the problems raised from ineffective communication in business. Okay. Question number 7, guys. We have a types of communication in the table here. We have the oral, we have a types of oral, as you see here, written, electronic, and visual. As the oral, we have conversation, meeting, interview. The written, we have memorandum, letter, reports. The electronic, or the using the technology, we have an email, fax, telephone, video conferencing, text messages, SMS. The visual, we have here bar chart, graph, photograph, and diagram. Okay, let's see the question. Enter each of the following methods of communication under the correct heading in your table. Okay, so we have, as we see, conversation, email, bar chart, and meeting fax. So we just put these communication at the suitable column here. Okay, guys, it's very easy. It's very easy to recognize each one of those communication types. Identify and explain which method of communication would you use and why. The answer is presentation of financial results. If I have a presentation for financial results to the director, I will shoot the meeting. Why? Because I have the ability to discuss the financial results face to face with the directors. So it will be more effective. Second, B, if I'm going to introduce a presentation of financial results for the workforce, I will shoot the graph. Why? Because there is a large number of employees and the graph represents financial numbers in perfect way. Okay. If I have an invitation to workers, if I have an invitations to workers or to all workers to the family fun day, maybe I will choose an email. Maybe I will choose an email. Why? Because it tells all the fun days details clearly to all the employees through the email, through their emails. An ID for a new student recreation room in your school. Maybe I will choose the conversation. Why? To discuss the advantages of this new ID deeply. Okay. A reminder, if I have a reminder to heads of departments about meeting in 2 days of time, So there is no so much time here. Will lead me to use the telephone way. Why? I will use the telephone because there isn't much time, and to make sure that the meeting date is announced clearly. Okay. Performance feedback to successful job applicant by the human resource manager will use letter. Why to use letter? To inform the employee clearly about his performance and keep a copy of this letter signed by the employee in his personal file. Okay. Finally, guys, the exam will be very easy. Don't be afraid. It will be multiple choice. Finally, I would like to remind you again, guys, that you're able to ask any question at any time, so please do. I hope to see you very soon. Take care of yourself and your families, and goodbye.